this beautiful Wednesday evening, October 22nd. We are heading into week 8, if you believe it or not. Week 8 of the NFL season, week 8 of the fantasy season, which means we are halfway done with the fantasy regular season. As sad as that is, halfway done. It goes by fast, man. It goes by fast because, Monday Night Football ends, and usually most of the time, your fantasy matchups are still being decided by the Monday Night Football game. Monday Night Football is over, then waivers run, for, the Tuesday, late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, whatever. And then, man, we're just right back into it. Tomorrow we got a game. We are right back into it. So we are here. Kevin's here with us. What's up, Kevin? Just going live. I didn't go live Sunday, so need to go live today and just see what's going on out there with the waiver wire. It's a crazy bye week, bye apocalypse week, as they call it. So I'm sure a lot of people are desperate for starters this week. I don't know why the NFL does this. They put 6 teams on a bye, and then another week they put 2 teams on a bye. Like, why can't they just do 3 teams, or not 3 teams, 2 or 4 teams on a bye? Why do they have to give us 6 during a week? I'd rather have multiple 4 teams on a bye weeks than a 6. I think there's 6 teams on a bye. So I'm sure there's a reason for it that I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know or whatever. But we got hopefully a pretty good Thursday night matchup. It's the Chargers and the Vikings. I feel like it's one of our first Thursday night matchups in a while that hasn't been a divisional game, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Let's see. Let us see. We'll pull that up here. If my internet will work. If the internet will work here for me, that would be great. Kevin, who are you buying low on this week? Well, I always look at my teams. If I'm doing well in my leagues, and I have, obviously the teams that aren't doing well, I look at their teams, players that they have on a bye, and maybe offer them, buy low on them, and just basically say, look, you need to start winning. There's some teams out there that are 1-6, 2-5. They can't afford this bye week. They can't afford to lose. Maybe you can. So I'm always looking at players like that. Ravens players come to mind, Kevin, of players that I would buy low on. I'd buy low on Ravens players. Lamar, Derrick Henry. They were just on a bye, right? So I guess that doesn't count. I would have bought low on them. Other players that aren't performing quite well. Where are we at with guys like Saquon Barkley? And Saquon Barkley's been a pretty disappointing. For the most part, he's been a disappointing asset this year, right? That being said, he's still RB17. That's nowhere near what we expected from him. He only has 1 game over 15 points. Maybe a guy like Saquon Barkley, I would potentially buy low on. And this sounds a little crazy, but I might buy low on some Jets players, potentially. Mostly just Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. I just look at the Jets' schedule, and I kind of like some of their games coming up. They get the Bengals, which I like. They get the Ravens, which I like. They get the Falcons. I don't know. Dolphins, but their December schedule I really like. Dolphins, Jags, Saints, and then the championship week they play the Patriots. So Patriots defense I think is pretty good, but that month where basically. That is the month of December is the last week of the fantasy regular season, right? 14, 15, 16. So last week of the fantasy regular season. And then the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, they get Dolphins, Jags, Saints. So I kind of like, are we good? I kind of like. I thought I disconnected for a second. Jets players potentially. Who else to buy low on? I mean, injured guys like Omarion Hampton, Bucky Irving. Hampton's a little scary because he could be out a while, but Bucky Irving definitely sounds like he is going to miss this week already, right? They've already announced that. He'd be someone I'd be looking at for sure. A little bit sketchy because you don't know when he's going to come back. Uh, Tetero and McMillan's an interesting one to me. Of a potential buy low. Like if we believe in rookies and rookies take some time to most rookies take some time to kind of come on, and then at some point during their rookie season everything clicks, kind of like a BTJ last year. Like BTJ was amazing, right? BTJ was phenomenal to end the year. He won people their leagues. Teteroa McMillan could potentially be someone like that. Lad McConkey, potentially. Yeah. So those are just some names. There's Zay Flowers you mentioned. I don't mind buying low on Zay Flowers. Don't mind that. So Danny says, would you trade JSN away on a rebuilder for Tet and Marvin Harrison Jr.? Well, the rebuilder part doesn't matter too much to me because all three of these pieces are long-term pieces, you know? JSN is obviously like really damn good. And I mean, man, where would he be at in the rankings? Like just looking at keep trade cut here. We got Jamar Chase, Puka Nakua, Justin Jefferson, and then it's JSN. JSN is above Amon Ra and CD Lamb. Now, I don't know if I would have JSN above those guys, but he is, and that's what the community thinks about him. I kind of get it. I mean, he has 2 years on Amon Ra, 3 years on CD Lamb in terms of age. He's putting up a phenomenal, phenomenal season. Man, Danny, I think that trade's really going to come down to like what does Marvin Harrison Jr. develop into? I don't mind that trade, Danny. I think it's a process trade, and I talk about process a lot when it comes to dynasty and fantasy football in general. And the reason I talk about the process is because fantasy football is so damn unpredictable. We cannot, no matter how smart we think we are, no matter how knowledgeable we think we are about football in general, each and every week, each and every season, we get humbled and we learn. No matter how much we prepare for things, predict things, know much of all this about football, we don't know. We just can't predict some things. We can't predict Rico Dowdle having 200 yards from scrimmage in back-to-back weeks, and the list of NFL running backs to do that are basically all Hall of Famers, right? Like we can't predict that. The process, if you kind of play to the process a little bit, is a kind of a way to mitigate like the little bit of uncertainty and luck that's involved with fantasy football. So I think it's a process trade here, and I don't mind the Tet and Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not saying you're winning that trade. I'm not saying you're going to win that trade. I'm saying you could potentially lose that trade very, very easily. But I think you're basically you're turning a top 5 asset according to Keep Trade Cut into 2 top 15 assets, 15-ish. I mean, Tet is a top 12 asset. Marvin Harrison Jr. is wide receiver 18, right? I still have faith in Marvin Harrison Jr. turning things around and all of it clicking. So I think it's the right process trade. So I don't mind it. It gives you more ammo, right? It gives you more ammo. So could you lose that trade? Sure. But I think it's the right process trade, Danny. Random says 13 man. 13 man, like you're starting 13 or random. I think you were talking about like you have 13 people in the league and one team's on a bye each week, right? Or someone has a bye week. That's kind of fun. 13 man PPR: Caleb Williams, Jackson Dart. Oh, you mean you have Drake May, not Caleb? Okay, so Drake May, Jackson Dart. Judkins, Henry, Hampton, JSN, Nico, Tet, BTJ, Wandale, Tyler Warren. I traded Caleb plus Hampton for Henry. I love that trade. Is this a one quarterback league random or is this super flex? Because if that's one quarterback, that's a smash trade for Henry. If it's super flex, it's a lot closer, right? But I still like it. I mean, you're going to be starting Drake May and Jackson Dart. It's one quarterback, then that's easy Derrick Henry. You're talking about Derrick Henry, right? Yeah, you list them with the running backs. Yeah, yeah, that's a huge win for you. Then I traded Jordan Mason for Wandale and Hampton. So wait, you traded Caleb and Omarion Hampton for Derrick Henry, and then you traded Jordan Mason for Wandale and Omarion Hampton to the same team? What's going on there, random? I mean, that's great. So essentially, you traded Caleb and Jordan Mason for Derrick Henry, Wandale Robinson, and Omarion Hampton. Am I reading that right? So you traded Caleb and Jordan Mason for Derrick Henry, Omarion Hampton, and Wandale. I think that's a great in a one quarterback. I love that. I mean, you have Drake May and Jackson Dart as well. So you're getting value. I mean, you're probably starting Drake May. Maybe you play the matchups with those two, but for the most part, you're starting Drake May over Caleb. You have your backup in Jackson Dart, who's been great for fantasy. So, yeah, I mean, you smashed that trade. I'm buying low on Henry. I mean, I don't know if you still can. Maybe it was a couple weeks ago that you needed to do it or before their bye week, but I think Derrick Henry and the Ravens, I think the Ravens are going to win the division. Maybe that's a little bold. I think they'll be in contention to win the division. I think the winner of this division is going like 9-8, 10-7. So the Ravens are going to go on a crazy run where, they win 9 of 11 or something like that, right? I think it's going to happen. They're getting back healthy. Their defense isn't great, but hopefully guys get healthy. Like, I just look at their schedule. They can beat the Bears. They can beat the Dolphins. They can beat the Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Packers, Steelers. Like, those are all winnable games for them. So I think we're going to see an incredible run from these guys. I hope we do. Lamar needs to get back to practicing. I know he wasn't like practicing to start the week or whatever, but he needs to get back to that. So, yeah, that's crazy, random. I can't believe you kind of pulled that off. That's kind of crazy. What's up, Down with Fun? Welcome in. It's been a busy week here too. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get my brother to. We're gonna do a little Dynasty live show. Hopefully Friday, maybe like afternoon or something. You can obviously rewatch it and all that stuff, but I want to kind of touch on and just explore how these rookies are doing this year. I'd say overall, like, has it been a good rookie class, a bad rookie class, an average rookie class? I mean, just kind of looking through the names here. I mean, Jackson Dart's been fun. Cam Ward, a big bust. That's really it for the quarterbacks, unless I'm forgetting someone there. Ashton Jeanty, I'd say, it's kind of been a bust for what we were expecting from him. Again, I think what we've learned is we got to be a little bit patient. I mean, obviously we're going to be patient with Jeanty, but drafting rookies in redraft and expecting them to perform year one, there's not a lot of guys that just do it. But let's see here. Ashton Jeanty he's RB13 on the year. RB13 on the year, RB 17 in points per game. So a bit of a disappointment. Hampton got hurt. Judkins has been awesome. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. Scadaboo's been nice. TreVeyon Henderson, man, what a bust. What an absolute bust for year one. I'm not calling him a bust for his career, but bust for year one. Like, he was the one. Well, him and Jeanty were were the two running backs that I had the most confident in. I was most confident in producing year one. I thought Travion Henderson was potential rookie of the year candidate, right? Just like I just felt like this guy could do it on 12 touches. And not only is he not getting touches, but he's not really being good with his touches. Like he hasn't been impressive, but not a bust. But man, it's crazy to see Travion Henderson and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt are 3 positions apart. RJ Harvey has been kind of a bust this year. Woody Marks, Bashal Tootin, Caleb Johnson. Yeah. Not a lot. We expected this to be a huge running back class, and it just hasn't been. Wide receivers, Emeka Ibuka has been amazing. Tetero McMillan has been impressive not for fantasy necessarily, but just like as a NFL wide receiver to come in and just like he looks like he belongs. And I think it's all going to come together for him eventually, whether it's at the end of this year, second half of this year, or next year. I think it's all going to kind of come together here. We'll see. I hope that's true. What else do we got? We got Travis Hunter finally had a big game. Yeah, not a whole lot from the receivers. The tight ends, I mean, Warren has been awesome. Fannin has been good. Harold Fannin in Keep Trade Cut is ranked over Colston Loveland. I think that's a bit of a mistake, but what do I know? Gonna trade Jefferson for depth. The guy has Addison, White, Bucky, Sutton, Wan'Dale, Stevenson. What should I be asking for? I can also throw in Bill, Kenneth Walker, Pacheco. If you're trading Justin Jefferson and PJ, I kind of need to know, is this like a start? How many are you starting in your roster? Right? Are you starting? Is it just a standard like 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, flex, 3 wide receivers and a flex, 2 flexes? What are we doing here? Because, I don't know. Like you need stud pieces in there. So if you're trading specifically to this guy, like he's the only guy that you can trade to. I mean, I would want Sutton, 2 flexes, okay. And how's your record here, PJ? Are you kind of need to diversify kind of Justin Jefferson into some pieces here? Are you playing well? Have you started off well? Or are you more like 3-3, 3-4? But yeah, I mean, if I'm doing this trade, I'm asking for Sutton. I want to say like Bucky. If I could get Sutton and Bucky, but I need to know what your record is because it's funny. Sutton's been better than Justin Jefferson this year, not in points per game, but in total points. But then again, they've had their bye, so that's kind of cheating, right? So I forget what I said. Justin Jefferson's been better. Record sucks. Henderson, Pacheco, Walker, JCM haven't been great. I got London and Jefferson, which haven't been too consistent. So then you probably don't want Bucky then, huh? Like you can't serve. You need to start winning. I guess it's can you get Sutton and Rachaad White? Is that enough for Justin Jefferson? I don't know. I don't think it is. Can I get the Buccaneers backfield and Sutton if I do Jefferson and like Pacheco or Jefferson and Kenneth Walker? Like, I don't think it's happening for Kenneth Walker this year. I'm disappointed in it. Feels like he's going to need to go to another team. Like, he's going to be one of those running backs that has like a second contract career. Marshawn Lynch comes to mind as like a guy who was like that. Marshawn Lynch, maybe a lot of people don't even realize, played with the Buffalo Bills for his for several years before he got traded. But like Kenneth Walker is he's not getting the goal line and he's not getting catches. He is the definition of a trap back. He's the definition of a trap back. He has to bust off a long run to be good. So can I do one of those? Yeah. I mean, I guess any of those running backs, I would prefer Pacheco would be the first one I would want to trade, and then Kenneth Walker and then Bill. But can I do Jefferson and Pacheco for Sutton and the Buccaneers backfield? So that way I have 2 starters. And then, I'm hopefully winning here. How do I feel about Addison? What I feel about Addison is kind of what he's been in his career. Right? How I feel about Addison is he's on. Well, I don't know if he's on Vikings. It's a little bit up in the air here. Like, are they a good team? Are they a bad team? I don't know. But Jordan Addison is very like touchdown dependent. But the guy scores touchdowns. Like, it's really hard to ignore that. Like, yeah, he's touchdown dependent, but he also has 20 touchdowns in 35 career games. So like he's averaging more than a touchdown every other game, more than a touchdown every other game, and stuff like that. So I feel like what you're going to get with Jordan Addison is what we've been getting to start the year. So basically, I think he's been like a top 15 wide receiver. I look at him more as like a top 20 guy, like wide receiver 20-ish. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind like Addison and Addison, Sutton, and White or something like that. If you can get 3 starters for the next few weeks, Addison, Sutton, White, can you get that for JSN or sorry, Justin Jefferson and one of those running backs? Then you get 3 starters at least for the next week or so. But yeah, I get wanting I get what you're doing, PJ. I think it's a smart move. You obviously need to fill out your roster. You're not winning, so it's like, well, am I just going to lose with these guys, or am I going to make a move here? And you're trying to make a move, and I respect it. So hopefully that helps just a little bit there. I feel like this class has been pretty damn good. Nobody other than Ibuka has been a smash, but compared to how people were, 25 has been fairly deep. Yeah. Fading strong running back class, though, seems to be good. If you zagged and drafted non-running backs and given tiers, you're probably pretty happy. Yeah, I still have faith for this running back class in general, long term. Like all the guys that aren't performing well this year, most of the guys that aren't performing well this year, I think are talented. Travion Henderson, RJ Harvey, Bayshaw Tootin, guys like that. I think are talented players. Plus, you're getting guys like Genty, Judkins, Scattaboo, Bill, stuff like that. So, I'd say for this year, I don't know. I feel slightly disappointed with it, but mostly just because like it was a huge running back class, right? And really we've had kind of like 3 rookie running backs produce this year, 3 or 4 if you count Bill. So, by the way, I think Corey Cross, I don't know. Is he a sell high? Is he a sell high in Dynasty? He's RB19. I love Bill. Again, we talked about him all the way back in March. But like RB19, I see that. He was literally a 7th round pick. He could easily be replaced by, Commanders go and they draft Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame this next year to pair with Jaden. Like, I don't know. I think he looks good though, but he doesn't catch the ball is the issue. I feel like he might be kind of a sell high, but I don't know there. I'd have to think about that. Smitty says you're 1-6, 2 quarterback super flex league. My quarterbacks are Daniels and Purdy, and I have their backups. Would you trade Daniels, Brees, Nico? Daniels, Brees, Nico for Lawrence, Olave, Saquon. I mean, you're trading Daniel. I mean, I want Daniels over Lawrence, but I know Daniels is missing this week, and that's factoring into it because you're 1-6 and you need to start winning. I don't know, Smitty. I think what I would explore here is trying to trade Daniels to a team that's doing well and seeing if you can get like 2 starters for him to plug into your lineup. Is there anyone in your league that's like 5-2, 6-1, 7-0? They're good at quarterback, but Daniels would be an upgrade when he's healthy and they're deep and like you can get a couple starters for Daniel. I think, and a quarterback in return. I know that's what you're kind of trying to do here, but like, I'm not convinced. Like, looking at the guys you're getting here, right? Obviously, you can start Lawrence, while Daniels is hurt, so that helps you. But like Olave, for example, um, Olave, I want to say, yeah, I was going to say Olave has been much better than Nico Collins. Like I know we expect Nico Collins to be better, but like Olave's been better. Olave's literally been he's wide receiver 9 now because he's been so consistent and then he has a big game. Like I don't necessarily think Olave is going to be a top 10 wide receivers this year, but I think he's going to be a top 20 guy. And if he has these big games every now and then he is going to finish as like a top 15, top 10 guy. So like Olave has been better than Nico. Brees and Saquon are probably not that far off. They're not. Brees is averaging 11.2 PPR points, Saquon 13.5. So like, yeah, Saquon's better, and I want Saquon, but like, it's not a smash. So I don't know if I love that trade, Smitty. If you can't find another trade offer and you really need to trade some of these guys because they're on bye and you need to win or whatever, okay. But I would explore other options there if I could. What can I get for Daniels? What can I get a starting quarterback and a couple starters, a high-ish end starter, and then like a top 20 guy and plug into my lineup? I think I'd be looking that way, Smitty. Just not sure if I can get one of Bucky or White to try and push harder, or I kind of need somebody now. Yeah, if you need somebody now, then you have to go for White. We don't know how long Bucky. I mean, aren't they? They're literally like, again, I'm so busy from like Monday to Wednesday. Like I miss a lot of like news. But didn't they come out and say like this is 2 weeks in a row now that they come out and said Bucky's missing this week? Yeah, Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin. This was this morning. Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin will not play in week 8. Like, and they have a bye in week 9. So like Bucky is 2 weeks not helping you. And that's 2 weeks in a row now where they've announced very early in the week that Bucky's out. So he's not even like close. Or maybe this is, hey, we have a bye week coming up type of decision. But yeah, you got to go for White. If you need you need to win now, you can't go for Bucky. So I would like to try and get 2 of them if possible, but or both of them, but I don't think you can. Smitty says the rest of my team is Rice, Jennings, Kittle, Monty, White, Scatterboo. Injuries have been killing me. Sure, but like you're gonna roll out a lineup of Purdy. Hopefully, you have another quarterback. Brees, Nico, Rashee Rice, Kittle, Scatterboo, and White. I don't think that's a bad lineup. It's just you've been kind of, Rice was suspended. Kittle got hurt. Monty's been a little bit up and down, right? So I don't know. If I've only got a lineup and I have, hopefully you can find another starting quarterback. But if I have Purdy and another starting quarterback, Brees Hall, Cam Scatterboo, Rachaad White, Rashee Rice, George Kittle, Nico Collins. Like I'm feeling pretty decently confident in that lineup to win. If they all play their game, I think you win, depending on who you're playing. Yeah. So, JCM is definitely a sell high. I'm out on Harvey, Caleb, and Hendo. Tootin, I think, is a buy right now. You're out on down fund. You're out on Henderson completely, or you're out on Henderson doing anything this year. I'm not out on Henderson completely. I haven't fact checked this, but apparently Josh McDaniels and rookies like just never do anything for him. I don't know. I'm not out on Henderson. I still think he's really good. I'm kind of out on Caleb. Harvey, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with him because, I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence with him because, like, Sean Payton feels the need to not only use J.K. Dobbins but Tyler Bidet as well. Like, so that's unfortunate. So I'm not out on Henderson though. And I see your other comment there. You're out on him for this year in the dream. Yeah, I think I convinced myself that he could be a workhorse, but I also had the expectation of like I don't think Henderson one of the reasons I liked Henderson this year because I thought he didn't need to be a workhorse to be really good. You know, he could be that 12 touch guy, two or three of those are catches, and he could be very, a top 20 running back essentially. That's kind of what I imagined for him. And that's why I was kind of in on him his rookie year. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you about him being a workhorse and stuff like that. But, he's going to continue to fall. He's going to continue to fall. And at some point, he's going to become a buy. Like, he's going to become a buy at some point. All these guys will become buys at some point. So, PJ says maybe Bucks backfield and Addison for Jefferson and Walker. Does that seem crazy? If you're trying to win now, I don't think it sounds super crazy. I think for you, PJ, though, like if you have three spots that you can plug guys into your lineup, I think I would really want to try and get three starters. Can I get Addison, Sutton, and White for Jefferson and Walker? And I don't think that sounds crazy because White is a temporary guy, so he still keeps Bucky Irving, right? He still keeps Bucky Irving. White will start for you this week. Sutton, Addison all start for you. Then potentially turn your season around. So can you do that instead? Who would you rather have right now in Dynasty, Judkins or Hampton? I still want Hampton. Basically because of the team and the situation, I'm more confident in. I think Hampton. I think the plan for Hampton was just to be that workhorse type of player on what we thought was going to be a good offense, and then injuries hit. So I still want Hampton over Judkins. I do. I still want Hampton over Judkins. I liked him more going in. I don't think, what we saw from Hampton, I think you have to be pretty optimistic about. So, about his future. And what we've seen from Judkins is great too, But I just where are the Browns going? Where are they going? They're probably, there's a good chance they've already played themselves out of the top pick. They have 2 wins. So obviously if they lose out, they could still be in contention, but they probably sneak in another win or 2 this year. They play the Jets, they play the Titans, divisional matchups. I would assume the Browns sneak out another win or 2 this year. And so now they're at 3 or 4 wins, which probably won't put them at the top. But what is their future? Right? What is the Browns' future? Are they going to try and get a quarterback this year? Is there even a quarterback coming out this year that's a clear-cut number 1 guy? I mean, Mendoza looks interesting. I know a couple guys that have been, a couple of the guys that we were expecting to be the top picks haven't been playing well in college this year. So it doesn't feel it kind of feels like a similar quarterback class as to this last year, where it was Cam Ward and maybe someone else. And obviously that someone else was Jackson Dart, who looks good, but it wasn't for sure clear cut, like it was in 2024. Ty Simpson looks interesting for Alabama. He's been really coming on as well. So he's someone potentially that could be something here. But I'd rather still have. I would still rather have Hampton, and any of my dynasty guys in here. You can let me know what you guys think too. So La Raza, 12 team, rate my team. Herbert, Scattaboo, Dobbins, Nico, Sutton, Kittle, Abuka. I think I suck. Nico and Brian Thomas are the worst first rounders by far. Yeah, I mean Saquon's up there as a pretty bad first rounder, especially because you took a lot of people took Saquon over CMC, over potentially over Bijan, over Jahmyr Gibbs, right? So I don't think your team sucks, Grassa, but it's just you've lost Kittle. Nico's been a disappointment. And Abuka's been hurt now, right? Like, so you just need some consistency on all these guys back, really, is what you need. But yeah, I don't know what moves you can make. I don't know what moves you can make. Can you sell Abuka maybe? As crazy as that sounds, but do you sell Abuka and get multiple pieces back? But I don't know. Maybe you hold out hope. Mariota, Mac Jones, Kittle, Rice, Jennings, Scattaboo, White. This is the lineup I'm going with. Mariota, Mac Jones, Kittle, Rashee Rice. Is that Juwan Jennings? Smitty? You're starting Juwan Jennings over who are on the bye weeks again? I know there's 6 teams. Week 7, who are... Let me pull it up here. Hang on one second. Who is week 8? Cardinals, Lions, Jags, Raiders, Rams, Seahawks. So, Smitty, you're starting Juwan Jennings over Nico Collins? I don't think I would do that. No. Do you have? No, you don't. Would you trade Daniels, Brees, Nico? Yeah, so you have Nico. I don't think I'm starting Juwan Jennings, unless I'm just missing something here. But I don't think I'm starting Juwan Jennings over Nico Collins. I know I'm not. So I think I would make that change in your lineup. I know Nico's been, I guess he might be hurt, right? That's what I'm missing. Is it, what is Nico's injury status? Concerning for week 8. So yeah, okay. That makes sense then that you're starting there. Yeah, it's a tough lineup. It's a tough lineup, Smitty. It really is. It really is. If you need to make that trade, if you feel like it makes your team better, go for it. I mean, there's again, like you're at the point of like, are you just gonna lose with the guys you have on your team, or are you gonna try and make a move? Right. And so maybe you're underselling guys, maybe you feel like maybe you're losing in the long run, but like you need to make a move, right? You need to make a move. So make a move, right? You got to do it. Got to do it. PJ, yeah, you can on Discord. If you're not in our Discord, you can hop in there and do that. We do team reviews as well. If you're interested, I can get that to you as either a private video or on a live stream before this week. It is a paid thing though. But it's good. We'll break it down. We'll give you 20, 30, 40 minutes talking about your team and all of that. But yeah, if you want, you can message me on Discord there. So, yeah, it's tough this week, man. All the guys injured is tough. Bye weeks this week is tough. Like this is where the men are separated from the boys type of, right? Like the stud teams separate themselves. This is really the teams like you're going to see separation over these next few weeks. You really are. Yeah, this is tough though. It is a tough week. I'm just looking at some of my teams and it's just like, man, this is rough. This is rough. Like if a couple of these guys that are questionable don't play, like I'm in trouble, basically. Like it's not good. It's not looking good. So any other questions, guys, leave them in the chats. If not, we'll take off. I'm not going to be able to make it live tomorrow, but we'll be live hopefully again Friday, Saturday morning for sure, Sunday morning for sure. We have no more Europe games, at least for the next few weeks. I think we have one or two more in November, but the next couple of weeks, no early Europe games, which is good. It's good for a lot of different reasons. So, yeah. What am I? Man, just kind of looking at a couple of my teams, and I'm just like, yeah, it's tough. Some of them are really good. I have a our home listener league, which I kind of dominate that league. I'm 12-2. So I think I've only lost 2 matchups. I don't think I've lost the scoring bucket, but this week I'm out JSN, which is tough. Travis Hunter, I don't have. I have Kyron Williams, I don't have. I have a lot of guys missing this week. BTJ, so it's going to be tough to fill in that roster for sure. It's going to be pretty tough. So, anyways, guys, I guess we'll take off. PJ, shoot me that message on Discord if you want. Appreciate everyone. And yeah, we're going to start putting out more Dynasty content now that we're kind of halfway through the season. I think it's a good, let's check in on some of these guys, what's going on. I don't want to overreact to a couple of weeks, but now we got 7 weeks under our belt. So that should be good. So, but yeah, appreciate everyone and take care. Have a good Wednesday night. Enjoy the games tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.